What's up, guys? Welcome back to Among the Fence. This is a very exciting time, especially for those of us fans of the metalcore genre, because August Burns Red has officially announced that they're going to be coming out with a new album called Guardians. And today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the new single off of that album, Defender. Like I said, August Burns Red is a metalcore band, and this is going to be their 9th studio album. And unlike a lot of metalcore bands where it's very just standard heavy vocals throughout the verses and then clean choruses, August Burns Red is a band where the vocals are usually always heavy. And the music is usually always very complex and comes off sounding kind of prog metal-ish in a way. And it's just, the band is very intricate about the way how they make their music. In the last album they came out with, Phantom Anthem, it was very technical and very complex and very melodic. And I've tried to learn some of the parts on my guitar from that album, and it is very time consuming. It's very hard. It's very fast. So going into this new album, a lot of people that are fans, especially I'm on a Facebook group, are speculating on which direction were they going to go. They've had an album that's kind of thrashy. They've had an album that's kind of more death metal in a way, just tons of breakdowns, and every single song is heavy. So we weren't really sure where it was going to go. And I think on this song, they went a little bit simpler in terms of the fact that most of their songs don't really have a chorus. It's all, like I said, it's very prog metal in a way. But this song, it does have a chorus. And it kind of caught me off guard that they did it this way, but it worked out brilliantly. The song starts out with kind of like this atmospheric build-up thing that only lasts maybe 3 to 5 seconds, and then it gets interrupted by this kind of heavy groovy riff that you can easily bob your head to, especially when you have a guy like Matt Greiner, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name, playing the drums, and his drum work is usually just absolutely just out of this world. It's insane. But on this song, again, they kind of made it a little bit more toned down to where it's easier for everybody to digest it instead of just hardcore metalcore fans. But then after the verse, when the pre-chorus hits, or the refrain, or I'm not really sure what to call it in this song, when that comes in, the riff and the guitars kind of take a backseat a little bit, and then the drums come in, and then they're a lot more complex, and it's a very drum heavy pre-chorus, which is a good build-up, especially since this song has like 4 different breakdowns in it. So almost every single part of this song is like almost building up to the breakdown. And just before the chorus comes in, everything cuts out, and then we have that kind of atmospheric vibe thing come in again that we heard at the beginning, but in this time it sounds like there's piano in the background, and it's really kind of pretty in a way. It only lasts for a few seconds though, because then it's rudely interrupted by the chorus, which the lyrics and all the music comes in like a freaking explosion, and it's just so big and epic, and the vocals are big and epic, and it's freaking amazing. And then after the chorus, the refrain comes back in, which if you guys are not that musically savvy, the refrain is basically just a part in a song that repeats, that isn't really a chorus or a verse or a pre-chorus. I don't know. It's basically just a part of the song that repeats, but it comes back. But this time, instead of it being drum heavy and kind of a build up into the chorus, it has this just heavy riff and heavy drums, and it's almost more like a breakdown in a way. And then the second verse comes in where the lyrics are repeated, but again, the music has changed. It's a lot heavier, a lot more aggressive. And like I said, the lyrics are the same, but the lyrics in the song are absolutely phenomenal. I'm pretty sure that Matt Greiner, the drummer, wrote all the lyrics in this, and they're very deep and they're very poetic. But at the same time, it's almost like inspiring and epic in a way. And when we get to the bridge, it's basically another build up to a breakdown, which a breakdown technically means that the tempo of the song is going to slow down, and it's going to be very chuggy, and it's going to give it that heavy, aggressive feel to it. But on this breakdown, it's very full, and it's basically as fast as the rest of the song, which instead of being heavy, again, it just made it epic. Like almost every single thing in this song is just a build up from one epic part to the next, and I couldn't be happier with it. And the cool thing about this breakdown is that at first when it starts, it's just all instrumental, but then it goes into the second chorus, which is just fantastic. August Burns Red is really good about doing that, where they have this really epic, cool guitar solo part or really heavy breakdown, and then the lyrics come in and the vocals come in, and it just, usually for me, it gives me goosebumps every time, and this is not an exception. And after the second chorus, an outro starts, and the outro is very dynamic, which August Burns Red tends to make most of their songs like really dynamic. They have two guitars, a rhythm guitar, which is usually just chugging away, and then there's the lead guitar player who is usually doing all kinds of crazy stuff in terms of scales, and he's all over the fretboard. But none of that really happens in this song, which is kind of refreshing because we got so much of that in the last album. And you get it a little bit in the outro, but then it only lasts a few seconds, and then out of nowhere, without a build-up, another breakdown hits, and this is your typical slow pacing, heavy, aggressive breakdown with vocals. And again, it's just absolutely amazing. It's phenomenal. I can't use enough words to describe how much I enjoyed it. And with the vocals mixed into it, it kind of gives it this deviant, kind of just monstrous feel to it. It's very, very big. It stands out. Even though, like I said, there's a lot of breakdowns in this song, a lot of heavy parts, this part actually stands out the most to me because of the lyrics in it. And you could actually understand what he's saying. At least I can. I'm kind of used to his vocals. Sometimes I can't understand what he's saying, and I do have to look up the lyrics. Like on some parts of the song I had to, but this part, it was very clear what he was saying, and it was fantastic. And once the breakdown is done, it goes back into the outro, and then the song is over. And if you guys couldn't tell, I absolutely loved this song. I listened to it once, and I was like, okay, it's kind of cool. It doesn't have as much technicality to it as before. It's not as complex as, honestly, a lot of their other songs, especially, like I said, on their last album, or they have a 2009 album, Constellations, which that one is also a fan favorite. That is also a very complex album. Honestly, I could pick out any one of them, and it's probably a little bit more complex sounding than what this song was giving off, and maybe things to come of this coming up album. But I absolutely loved it. And I also have to admit, yes, I'm a hardcore fanboy, and this song was great, exceeded my expectations. I was kind of worried because a lot of new bands are going softer, and it's been very lame lately. But I gotta give this song a 10 out of 10. Fantastic. I've listened to it 5 times. It gets better every single time, especially with the music video. The music video is just so freaking cool. And if you haven't heard this song yet, and if you are a fan of this heavier style of music, go ahead and give it a listen. But I just encourage you, instead of just looking it up on Spotify, like I said, the music video is great. Look it up on YouTube. It's got this comic book superhero kind of thing to it, and it's not lame like I was kind of expecting it to be when I saw this kind of comic book style. It's very, very well done. And after that, go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what you guys think. I'm sure that a lot of you guys won't have the same kind of thoughts that I do, mostly because I will admit over and over again that I'm a hardcore fanboy. These guys can literally just start smashing things through their drums and slamming their guitars on the ground, and I would give it a 10 out of 10, admittedly. But from an unbiased standpoint, I still feel like this song would get a 10 out of 10, especially if you're a fan of this kind of music, just because it doesn't fit the typical box that this genre tends to kind of go in. Like a lot of these bands, like how I reviewed As They Lay Dying and Killswitch Engage, they kind of just fall into this rinse and repeat sound. And I hate using that term, but that's kind of what it is. They just take the same formula of song and they just repeat it over and over again, just change the lyrics, and you're just good to go. Why even record different songs? You could just play the same one over and over again and just add different lyrics to it, and you got a whole album. And I don't enjoy that nearly as much as I enjoy more randomness, more creativity. I like bands to be daring. And like I said, a lot of people on the fan pages were scared that they weren't going to be that daring, which admittedly they weren't really that daring with this song. But at the same time, it was very different. It felt new and it felt fresh. It doesn't sound like something they've done 100 times. And that's, yeah, That's another reason probably why I loved it so much. I was worried it was going to be over the top technical like their last album was. It was just going to be a repeat, but nope, they can just prove over and over again that they're capable of doing something different almost every time. If you guys have an album you want me to review, maybe one of your favorite bands came out with a new album or they released a new single, comment that down in the bottom too, and I'll do a review and I'll make it happen for you. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, again, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you get notified when I do upload videos. Doing any of those things, even leaving a comment, helps me out tremendously, and I appreciate it more than you guys can know. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.